Hello and welcome to Delves In, where we delve into spooky creepypastas and crazy Reddit stories. I'm Delv, this is the 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗲𝗃, and in today's episode, we have a very loud Leda screaming at us.
She's the special.
No, and this is our special guest.
Hello!
We have none other than BOODRIX.
The BOODRIX.
That is BOODRIX. Get it right. I'm the manager, this is the receptionist, and this is our groundskeeper. This is the dude who keeps everything here clean, tidy, and in order.
You are some nasty motherfucker.
Yes.
You know how many pentagrams I have to scrub off of the walls?
Yeah.
Too many.
And I tell everybody when they check in, like our biggest policy, no bloody pentagrams. No one listens. I almost think that I
can't get them out.
I think
I have to repaint the whole room.
I think in having it in writing, it like makes people want. Maybe we should honestly take it out, but for legal reasons, we have to keep it in. Anyway, so this is the guy who takes care of cleaning up. We appreciate him being here. We figured if anybody deserved to be the first special guest, it would be BOODRIX. So for years and years, I've always been very interested in creepypastas. So is he. Oh. So one of the very first creepypastas that I can really remember like loving is a creepypasta named The Zookeepers. And when I read it, I remember it immediately became one of my favorites. But it's been years and years since I've actually read it. So I figured this would be the perfect episode to reread it and see if A, if it holds up to me, and B, if, you know, obviously either of them actually like the story.
It sucks, I hate it. Your eyes, man.
It might suck. I really, like I said, I read it years and years ago. So on the Creepypasta website, this came out on June 27th, 2017. It's about 17 minutes of reading. It has a 7.73 out of 10 from 48 votes. So pretty high rating, but honestly pretty underrated. Not a lot of people have seen it. So hopefully this gives the story the credit that it really deserves, or at least I think it deserves. I know in the last two episodes I said that we were going to try to like shorten the episodes a little bit. This one might be pretty long just because the story's kind of, and we have
because Delv's a liar.
I'm your boss, but he's not wrong.
Delv is the most truthful
Doesn't matter.
person I've ever met.
I am a liar.
Wait a minute, she signs my paycheck.
I'm just the receptionist.
That's because I can't read. She has to sign them for me.
Oh, damn it.
So, also, we may yap in this episode, obviously. We just saw Weapons. I give Weapons an 8. That horror movie by Zach Kreger. I was very pleasantly surprised. If anybody watches this and is like on the fence, go see it. I really enjoyed it. What did you guys think of it?
Enjoyed it, for sure.
Great movie. I agree, 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Just chef's kiss.
Yeah, really solid. It feels good to like go to the movies and not be disappointed.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Got my money's worth, definitely. Because, I mean, the last thing we saw in theaters was Warfare, which I also really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you the last movie I saw in theaters before Warfare. It had probably been 2 years since I'd actually had my ass in a seat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We did go see the Sonic movie in theaters.
Yeah, we watched part 3 when it came out in theaters.
That is true. Okay, maybe I'm a liar.
Later.
I did just say, you are a liar.
You did just call it out. So, I'm going to read this story because my mom says that Kat's really bad at reading, so...
Did she? Guys, I'm sensitive.
I'm kidding! Anyway, Mom, if you're seeing this, Kat knows you hate her.
If it makes you feel any better, I can't read worth a shit either.
Let me hit that vape, and then we'll get right into it. No more delays.
Is that a cool transition?
It was.
Thank you.
Odds are you've been to a zoo. If you're like me, when I was a kid, you might be disappointed to find that the lions and tigers don't fight, roar, or do much of anything besides yawn and lounge around. If you're really lucky, you might just see one of them lift their heads up enough to nibble at an old piece of chewed up meat that they have lazily tucked between their paws. To an onlooker, it would seem like these wild animals have lost their natural ferocity. However, it is easy to forget that these animals, as well as many others, are nocturnal. You might be surprised to see what a zoo looks like at night. I consider myself very lucky to have had the privilege of seeing this firsthand.
Like, hold on, side note, just... They're lazy because you give them everything they need.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Well, he's saying, like, they're nocturnal, and so, like, they, you know, are all, you know, ferocious at night, and you just see them in the day when they're lazing around because they hunt at night. But I'm just yapping, but it's like I just noticed it's like, of course they're lazy. You give them everything they ever need. They don't need to hunt or fight.
Mm-hmm.
True.
That's why they're lazy.
Look, it's building up. All right.
I'm sorry. I'm nitpicking.
It's going somewhere.
You're right. My bad.
I've worked as a zookeeper for almost 6 years to date. Like many zookeepers, in order to avoid interfering with the experiences of the guests, I did all of my work at night after the gates were closed. After all, who wants to go to a zoo only to see a tiger get tranquilized and tested for disease?
Me. That seems interesting at the very least.
Most of the time during my shift, I would walk to and from enclosures, observe the animal life there, and write down in my logbook about any strange behavior I might find. It is during these times that I see, from behind the security of a chain-link fence or glass window, the incredibly active and brutal lifestyles of many of the nocturnal creatures. Males paired together will often fight and growl at each other. Big cats, especially, tend to eye me hungrily, despite being surrounded by uneaten food that litters their pens at all times. I've never been scared by them, but as I walk by their pens, it is unsettling to notice dozens of pairs of eyes gleaming back at me through the darkness, despite how safe I know I am behind the impenetrable fences. They must know it too, as they have never attempted to escape or attack me. During my free time, I made friends with the 3 night guards that were in charge of keeping out any teenagers dumb enough to try and sneak in after hours. We talked a lot about the zoo and popular rumors surrounding it. The place itself is old. Apparently, it was originally built to be a storage facility for circus animals in the 19th century. Combine that with the fact that it's situated on the outskirts of a small town in rural Nevada, and it becomes easy to believe some of their more outlandish tales and theories. They told me about accidents that apparently took place years ago, like the time when a worker was feeding crocodiles until he slipped from the catwalk and joined his chickens as a part of the crocodile's diet. They even told me about how an inexperienced night manager once accidentally set loose a wild grizzly bear that killed him and snuck into town, killing several others under the cover of night before being shot by the police. But by far the most interesting thing they told me was about how some of the animals would just disappear in the middle of the night, never to be seen again. This especially caught my attention because not only had this phenomenon been documented in the logbooks of previous night managers, but I myself had encountered the same issue within my first month of working there when a resident of the monkey cage had vanished between my first and second routine inspections of the night. Shout out DoorDash Chimp, last episode.
Sorry, I just got hungry.
I have a question of the day.
Okay.
What's the worst animal you'd want to get killed by?
First thing that comes to mind is a dog, because I've been attacked by one. It's the only wild animal I've been accosted by.
Are dogs considered wild though?
Nah, well they can be.
I'm talking about like something you find at the zoo.
Like non-domesticated.
Yeah.
Alligators are pretty high on
I was
my
gonna
list.
say, I think alligator would be high for me too.
The death roll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything that could drowns you to try to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Kangaroo.
Yeah, kangaroos will do that. Crocodiles will do that. Yeah, probably a crocodile.
I feel like a bear and lion would it would be so fast with so much force that it wouldn't be like a fight.
Yeah. Maybe something that like I could put up a fight against so it lasts longer, you know? Like if a lion attacks me, I feel like I could fend it off, but not stop it, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it would be a longer death. Like a bear would rip me in half, but like a panther would just fucking maul me until I finally just give up and die.
Mm-hmm.
And that would suck.
No, I could take a...
Not that they're in zoos, but being killed by a shark would suck too.
Those
Oh,
are
God,
aquarium.
Right.
Waters.
Waters is...
Water zoos. Hell of woos.
Woos!
Ow.
I like
You do it
woos.
too.
My mama.
We had a truce.
My woos.
I feel betrayed.
No,
When
you
have I
cannot.
done it? When have I done it?
You did it the last time we were in South Carolina. Whoopsies. You did it the last time we were in town.
It's a whole state, dude. I don't think you gave anything away.
The last time we were in...
The United States of America. Oh no!
Hold on, I gotta throw him off the trail. The last time we were in...
South
Birmingham.
Korea.
West Carolina. Fuck, where was I? Monkey cage.
Monkey chimp.
Oh, after double checking, I had assumed that it had somehow gotten out. But when I brought the issue to head management in the morning, I was floored when they frankly told me to not worry about it. Unlike the night guards who thought that ghosts were involved, I had a feeling the zoo management had something to do with it. Nevertheless, since my employer didn't seem to care, neither would I. As months passed, I noticed that more animals seemed to vanish almost systematically. But not even the disappearance of an elderly lion seemed to worry management at all. Aside from rumors, the night guards introduced me to the facilities. I have a lot of good memories within the employee lounge and their secret lounge, which was just a cramped little room with a TV. They showed me every bathroom and maintenance building that I would need to use in order to perform my duties. Just when I thought I had a good grasp of where every building was and what they were each for, I noticed at the end of my shift one morning, as the first gleams of the sun illuminated the horizon, a distant building that could only be seen if you looked in just the right direction from a certain corner of the zoo. It was absent on every map we had, and my boss would just brush me off if I ever asked him about it. The structure was only 1 story high, and upon closer inspection with some binoculars that one of the night guards lent me, it had no windows at all. There were no roads or paths that led to it, and I had never seen anyone use it in any way. It was decent in size, and I thought it was strange that a building like that would be inaccessible and nearly invisible to visitors and workers, such as myself. Of course, the night guards had their theories, ranging from a power station to an animal breeding chamber. I, however, had remembered how some animals in the zoo had gone missing, and it dawned on me that, of the instances I could remember specifically, the animals that had disappeared were always old-aged, ugly-looking, or otherwise unpopular with guests.
Ugly?
Yeah, animals are fucking ugly.
Like what?
Have you looked at them?
Have you seen any monkey? All monkeys are fucking ugly. There's not a cute monkey on the planet.
I think the little...
That does not narrow it down at all.
She means a spider monkey, but they're ugly too, trust me.
What the fuck is this spider monkey?
The tiny monkey.
Oh.
The ones that you like dress up and put on your shoulder.
Oh.
Those are cute.
Like the little symbol monkeys, the ones.
That's a spider monkey?
Yeah, those are called spider monkeys because they're small.
Oh, okay. Those are pretty ugly too.
All monkeys are ugly. I don't give a fuck what
Dude,
anyone
they'll maul
says.
your face.
Okay, give me another example.
Crocodiles are fucking ugly.
Another example.
Bruh. I could keep going on. I mean, give me like what's?
Name 5.
I'm trying to think of what animal that I think is ugly.
I think like big cats, like lions, panthers, they're pretty cute.
So cute.
Yeah, the
Bears can be cute.
bears can be cute.
Hippos are cute.
Hippos are
Hippos are not cute.
fuck
They're
ugly.
so cute.
I think giraffes are ugly too. Horse with long and black tongue, by the way. The black tongue is creepy.
But they have little ears and they go...
I guess, but horses and zebras exist, but you want long-necked horse or zebra?
It's just variety.
And there is one at the bottom of that totem pole, and
And then
It's a
spots
giraffe.
a little tail.
So do zebras. Well, they have stripes.
I think zebras are cute too.
And I'm not saying zebras are ugly, but giraffes, I think, are ugly.
dude, zebras are mean as shit.
Yeah. Well, you know, they are African.
They're actually more closely related to donkeys than they are horses.
Donkey.
Yeah. You flexing for the ladies?
Yeah, I'm gonna start saying I have a zebra cock.
Oh my god.
Just because it has black and white stripes on it, though.
Just because it curves to the left.
I shared with the night guards my theory about how management knew that particular animals were an eyesore, but they also knew how hard and costly it would be to get permission from the government to put them down or transfer them, not to mention the bad publicity. In order to keep things quiet, the unwanted animals were kidnapped at night and euthanized in the mysterious building where their bodies could be cremated and disposed of without law enforcement catching on. We all laughed at my idea, but I decided to stick to that theory if anyone were ever to ask, even though no one ever did. As months turned into years, more animals began to disappear, only to be discreetly and quickly replaced with younger ones. My theory didn't seem so far-fetched after all. All the while I was perfecting my nightly routine. After just 2 years, I had memorized every enclosure space, created a mental list of animal populations, and minimized the amount of time it took me to complete each task. Eventually, I had over an hour of free time before the end of each shift. At first, I spent the time with the night guards. All the while, we never stopped wondering about the mysterious building and the missing animals. Then one night, my curiosity got the better of me. It compelled me to discover the truth, like an itch that had been building with each missing animal.
You know what they say? Curiosity killed cat.
Mmm.
But the satisfaction brought it back.
Ooh.
Heyo.
That's the full quote.
And cats are ugly animals too.
That
No.
that's just not true.
It's not. They're probably top 2 cutest between that and dogs.
Where's Leda?
Later. She said, "Fuck."
Let's see. As I arrived at the zebra pen for early night inspection, I found that one was missing.
He was flexing for the ladies.
Yeah, flexing for the ladies. While I would usually just make a note in my report and forget about it, there she
She's been
is.
summoned.
Leda, baby.
He's like, "Who you calling ugly, bitch? I'll take a shit on your pillow."
Come here.
You just in here hanging out?
Come on. Or come this way. Do something.
Figure something out, dude. Get it together. She did not like that. Yeah, fattest cat.
No, our cat's better.
Cute.
Thumbnail.
Cute.
Thumbnail. Alright, sorry. La cucaracha. While I would usually just make a note in my report and forget about it, I decided to walk down the path surrounding the enclosure and do a quick inspection. When I reached the farthest corner of the pen, a strange movement caught my eye. I could see something in the far distance lumbering through the underbrush. Through the darkness, I could see that it was a large, black, and definitely not a zebra. As I squinted, I could make out that it was dragging something behind it. I placed my clipboard aside, hopped the fence, and followed from a distance. The figure hadn't noticed me, but I could see that it was hauling the body of one of the zebras behind it. After a short while, I realized that we were headed in the direction of the mysterious building that I had wondered so much about. This seemed to confirm my belief that old animals were taken and executed at night, but I had to know for sure. As we got closer to the building, I realized that the building had been made out of concrete and was not decorated with paint, tiles, or anything at all. As the figure approached a solid steel door along one of the sides, a security light flickered on and illuminated him. I could finally make out that he had a tranquilizer gun slung across his shoulder, and he wore a torn and dirty lab coat that had turned brown with age. He knocked 4 times, and after a few moments, a mechanical whirring was heard as it slowly swung outward. He inched his way in, dragging the zebra behind him. After several seconds had gone by, the security light turned off and the door began to close automatically. I sprinted over and slinked inside just in time and managed to avoid tripping the light. The door behind me made a hard mechanical clink as it locked itself. The inside of the building was filled with bleak and empty hallways. Dull fluorescent lights lined the ceilings. Strong metal doors dotted the walls, each with a wire mesh window.
You made a mistake.
I saw the figure as it turned a corner down one of the many hallways. The building was deathly silent, except for the shuffling of the worker who was still dragging the zebra.
That's one strong motherfucker, by the way.
It's just
A
about-
zebra
yeah.
is not light.
I was just about to mention that. They're fucking like 500 pounds. Like, that's the lightest. They can go up to, oh shit. Did
Oh
that fall?
shit.
It's falling.
Oh.
Here, try to, yeah. Got some technical difficulties here, chat. Look at the groundskeeper keeping shit fixed up, dude.
W groundskeeper.
Where's your...
It's in her, I'll go get it. You want to peel that tape off?
I was just gonna layer it.
So, Leda, what do you think of zebras?
I hate them. They're dirty and sneaky. She is so fed up with your bullshit.
You're drooling. Lady drooling.
Gosh, tape?
Chat, how many men does it take?
It's not getting cut.
can't have BOODRIX get bonked on the head.
It almost did bonk him. Okay.
Oh.
Excuse me. The building was deathly silent except for the... Read that.
Yeah,
I followed along quietly and peeked around the corner to see the worker shove the animal through an open door. Another person, wearing a much cleaner lab coat and holding a clipboard, emerged from the same door and closed it behind him. The man with the tranquilizer crossed his arms and said, "I hope you're making progress, Doctor. They warned me that we can't keep taking test subjects like this anymore. People are starting to ask questions. Unless we see some real results today, they may cut you from the program." The other man, apparently a doctor, replied in a hushed tone, and I couldn't make out what he said. The two
he said, "Shut the fuck up. I'll have your badge.
I'll have your badge. Badge and gun, right now.
I want your badge number."
The two walked down the hallway and disappeared behind a pair of swinging doors. I quickly shuffled down the hallway and started looking into the doors. Each room was identical and was little more than a concrete cell. Some were empty, but others had animals in them. Their condition was horrific. Nearly all of them looked like they were starving and were lying down, panting heavily. Black bruises covered their bodies. Most of them, while conscious, wouldn't look at me when I would lightly tap the glass window. Others were missing their eyes altogether.
No.
Any predictions for the story so far?
But you've told me how it ends.
Well, that sucks. Any predictions for the story so far?
No, I'm mad.
Why?
Give me them eyes later.
It's like that one saw trap from Saw like 10.
I'm kidding. I would never. I'd take her teeth first. I'm kidding.
No, what you do, take the eyes, replace them with teeth. Like that one guy.
Don't go to sleep tonight. I'll stab you.
I'm gonna quit my job.
Okay, sorry. You can't quit. We won't reach our diversity quota.
Diversity, because I'm a woman?
You're a woman?
Ew, you're fired.
What?
I was gonna suggest blackface. You know, keep the diversity up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut that one.
Yeah.
As I progressed down the hall, it only got worse. A lot of the animals were dead. Their bodies seemed partially dissolved by a strange tar substance. By the time I had reached the door where the zebra had been pushed through, the surrounding cells held nothing more than small puddles of bubbling black goo. In the cell where the zebra lay, I could tell that the room had been hastily cleaned and that the concrete interior was a darker shade than most of the others.
Dude, if only it was green, dude. Then he could level up.
Angry at the cruelty that I had seen, but still a little curious, I passed through the swinging doors. I found myself standing in a long hallway, and I could make out a distant conversation coming from one end. As I approached the voices, I recognized one of them as the man with the tranquilizer that I had seen earlier. As I got closer, I could see that a scientist and a large, hairless lab rat were in a room behind a large glass window. The man with the tranquilizer and a few other scientists were sitting on metal folding chairs, watching. "It had better work this time," the man with the tranquilizer said. "According to my calculations," said the scientist behind the window,
Actually,
the transfusion of foreign cells should result in a functioning symbiotic relationship." The onlookers nodded in approval, and the scientist withdrew a syringe that was filled with a dark fluid. He injected it into the rat and took a few steps back. Within the cage, the rat began to run around frantically as a black substance began dribbling out of its mouth and ears. It screamed and began convulsing as dark blotches covered its skin. After a few agonizing moments, the creature collapsed and lay motionless as a viscous pus that had been oozing from its face began to cover its skin. It looked like it was coating with bubbling tar.
that's failure.
Or, several seconds went by and no one moved or spoke. I figured that whatever experiment they planned had been a failure, but the scientist watched on expectantly, as did the onlookers. Everything was silent, and I stifled my breathing to avoid being caught. Then, I saw the rat twitch. Its mouth began to open and close very slowly, and a low growl resonated throughout the building. It rose to its feet and looked around, despite how its eyes were completely coated with sludge. "Well, this looks promising," one of the onlookers said. "How long is its lifespan?" The scientist behind the glass began explaining his research, but none of them noticed the creature pressing itself against the bars of its cage. He ranted on as the black tar melted off the rat, leaving behind clean, white bones. It seeped through the cage and crawled towards him. It was not until he had felt something cold and slimy that the scientist realized that the strange substance had engulfed his shoes and was crawling up his legs. He screamed and tried to run away, but the sludge held his feet in place. The onlookers began to panic.
Page 1 of notes. We have decided to fuse a gorilla with AK-47. It looks promising. Day 2. The gorilla got out. Yeah, that's like every time. And this is why I make fun of scientists. They're all like, actually, and then let their own experiments kill them.
What's that? Is it a Spider-Man? I can't remember the quote, where it's from, but it's like, it's Jurassic Park. You were too busy wondering if you could, you forgot to ask if you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that.
Yeah. Fucking stupid ass wizard, scientists, they're all dumb.
Alright, I guess if that's comfortable. Seal the room, one of them said. The man with the tranquilizer sprang up and began locking the scientists behind the test chamber. His screams became muffled as the slime reached his face. That was when I knew that it was time to get out of there. As I ran down the long hallway, I could hear an incredible commotion behind me. When I reached the swinging doors leading to the animal containment cells, I pushed against them only to realize that they had been locked remotely. It was then that I heard the distinct sound of crashing glass, followed by a chorus of screams and a guttural roar. I was terrified. Instinct took over and my adrenaline kicked in. I booked it down the hall and found myself in a warehouse full of shelves and cupboards. I ran down one of the aisles and hid behind a large filing cabinet. By then, the screaming had stopped. The only sounds that could be heard was a shuffling and on occasion and an occasional scraping sound coming from deep within the hallway. As I looked around, still trembling, I noticed in the dim light that each shelf was crammed with jars and vials. Suspended within them, horrible monstrosities floated with petrified scalp. Peeking out behind the cabinet, I saw a steel door. It looked strong, but unlike the other door that I had foolishly snuck in through, I could see a keyhole and a handle. Hoping and praying that it led to the outside, I inched toward it. I retreated back to my hiding place, however, when I realized how close the scratching had gotten to the room I was hiding in. It sounded like dozens of people were dragging metal pickaxes across the concrete floor. As the sound became deafening, I could also make out a heavy breathing. Whatever had made its way to the doorway, judging only by the noises it made, I could tell it was huge. As it approached me, I realized that it was sniffing the air. Just then, something caught its attention. In an instant, it spun around and bolted through the doorway towards the animal chambers. It must have caught wind of the larger animals that had been kept locked up for so long. I heard a crash as it burst through the double doors. I ignored the squealing of its victims and ran to the door. To my dismay, it was locked. There was nowhere to go. As I heard the thing tear down door after door and gorge itself, I knew that it was only a matter of time before it found me. I banged on the door and yelled, "Let me out! Somebody help me!" The creature heard me, and my heart dropped as I felt the floor tremble with its eager approach.
No shit.
Yeah, you were screaming.
But as I turned to the door for the one last desperate effort to escape, I found the door open. Without thinking, I jumped through. I was able to get one look at the thing before the door closed behind me. It was in the shape of a rat, but was so large that it scraped the ceiling with its back. The creature was pure black, and the light shined over its glossy layer of dark slime. The beast lunged for me, but the door was shut in time and was able to withstand its flurry of vicious attacks. Leaning against the closed door, the head night guard was catching his breath. As he locked the door with his master key, he explained to me that he hadn't seen me all night and I failed to meet them in the lounge as I had always done. When he found my clipboard lying on a path that was close to the mysterious building, he had assumed that I had been taken for asking too many questions. Finding the door sealed shut, he went around back when he heard my frantic banging. The other two guards weren't too far behind. He looked at me as if to say, "You saw that too, right?" But I didn't think to respond. I ran straight to my car and drove home. I never wanted to see that place again. At least not at night.
I'm not gonna clean that.
Why not?
The rat?
All the black tar and goo and, I mean, come on. Eating a zebra, that's messy.
It sounds like it's self-cleaning though. All it does is leave behind the bones. I'll ask him for his resume.
Thank you.
Hours later...
What are we gonna do with you?
Well, he doesn't eat grass. He's gotta mow the grass still. He's just talking about the rooms.
Something's gotta get those pentagrams out of the wall. I'm
Yeah.
tired of repainting every time.
Yeah. I mean, gee, you have to pay maids. You don't have to pay this thing.
Yeah. I'll just feed it bad customers. Just like, oh
No, we thrive off of bad customers. Let's be frank here.
oh, you put a pentagram on the wall, rat, dinner time.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. You graffiti the room, you get the rat.
The Delves Inn is very welcoming. Do not be scared to come stay with us. It is a warm and happy place to be.
Yeah, we're just joking.
Yeah,
All jokes.
Yeah, we're just joking.
There's a reason they don't let me talk to the customers.
You're locked in the basement from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We let you out when the sun goes down. Hours later, as the morning sun blanketed the town with a comfortable light, I swallowed my fear and returned to the zoo one last time to formally quit in front of my boss and collect my last paycheck. On the way there, I couldn't help but try to see if anything had happened to that mysterious building since I left. To my surprise, it was swarmed with a massive construction crew.
No, let go.
She'll fuck you up, dude. Be careful.
Ah, no, let go.
Oh, she's stuck.
You're stuck. I'm trying. Thank you.
Lita, what the heck, dude?
Oh man, she tore your ass up.
She actually didn't get me, just the sock.
Oh, she got your sock though.
Yeah.
Lita.
Let's see. I swallowed my fear. I couldn't help but try to see if anything had happened to that mysterious building since I left. To my surprise, it was swarmed with a massive construction crew. Cement trucks lined the building, and I could see workers pouring concrete in through the chimney. They were working so fast. Accompanying them, a couple of men in suits stood outside a black, spotless van and watched anxiously. They exchanged a few words, but kept their focus on the building. By the amount of cement that remained, I could tell that they were almost finished with the cover-up project. One of the suited men noticed me and exchanged a menacing glance, the same kind of look a bully gives to someone who just ratted him out. I snapped my head away and continued along the path towards the zoo offices. When I found my manager, before I could even say a word, he fired me for irresponsible behavior. Perhaps I should have asked him exactly what specific behavior he was referring to, but I was so sick of that backwards zoo and its psycho management, I just turned around and walked off without a moment of hesitation. As I was leaving, I passed that terrible building again, only to see that it had been completely abandoned. The construction party and the men in suits were already gone, with no trace of their work besides the cement that topped the chimneys. As much as I hated that building and how much it had mentally scarred me, I needed closure. When no one was in sight, I hopped the fence into the same zebra pen that I had traversed the night before and approached the building. Rapidly drying concrete seeped from metal pipes that covered the doors. A familiar fear returned to me as I found the door that I had miraculously escaped from the previous night. Less than a day ago, this door was all that stood between me and a hideous creature so terrible it could not have been from this world. I clutched my heart as I fully realized how close I had been to sharing in the horrible fate of its other victims. But then it dawned on me. I had never seen the creature leave the building. Those men surely knew about the incident, but why didn't they get the military involved? Why was there no sign of containment? Is it possible that the creature could still be inside, hastily buried as a last resort to hide a terrible secret? I pressed my ear against the metal door. I plugged up my other ear with a finger and strained to listen. Perhaps it was only the screaming children in the park, or even cries from the other animals in the zoo, but within the deep confines of that concrete prison, I could faintly make out the muffled roar of a beast that seemed to carry all of its rage and hunger through its voice. But it was only for a moment. I have no answers. I don't know what that creature was or what has become of it. If it is trapped inside of that lab of atrocities, I pray that it stays buried within its cold and gruesome tomb for eternity. The day it escapes will be our last. As for the zoo, I never go back. I have already had nightmares and it probably won't stop anytime soon. I'm considering seeking formal therapy. I don't even care how much I used to get paid or how well I got along with the night guards or how convenient and easy the job was becoming. I am never going back. On the bright side, I heard that our local Starbucks is hiring. Surviving a monster attack might look good on my resume. Written by Wandering River Dog.
Dude, and working at Starbucks, you see monsters every day.
Wow.
That was good.
Like I said, that's a solid, I agree, 7.73 out of 10.
Yeah, I think that's one of those stories where it's very it's to the point, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It is long, it's a pretty long read.
Doesn't have a whole lot of fluff.
Yeah, no fat on the story, it's very interesting, sets up a very neat bad guy that you don't even really get a lot of. It really kind of leaves you tasting for more. But
So what's the theory
Umbrella.
of like why they were? Huh?
You get it.
What'd you say?
Umbrella.
Oh, yeah. The name of the evil corporation in Resident Evil is Umbrella, and they did similar experiments and shit like that on animals, but they ended up making a zombie virus. Well, they were talking about symbiotic like cell research, so my guess is whatever that black goo is supposed to like mimic the cells of that rat.
And give it like regeneration.
Yeah, and give it like regenerative abilities.
Mm-hmm.
But instead it just like completely like took over the rat and then ate it and then just kept its form.
And got huge.
Yeah, and like
it just kept eating and growing in mass.
Okay.
So that's my theory. At least. It doesn't technically say that, but I figure it's like...
So they would never have to purchase more animals? Not
necessarily purchase more animals, but like if they ever got sick or like lost a limb, they could like just stick them with this goo and the goo would reform a limb. And it would just become a part of the animal again.
Or maybe it's to help keep them young.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe it's to keep them young.
Young and healthy animals are the biggest selling points for a zoo. Or it could be a front for pharmaceuticals, and so instead of like testing lab rats and like getting government funding, they just open a zoo and sneak animals from the zoo into their facility, and the front on why they keep buying animals is the zoo, but the real reason is they have something to experiment.
Yeah, maybe it's like lab trials. Eventually they would have tried it on humans if they could get past the zebras, but they did not get past the zebras.
Nope.
But like I said, I like it.
That's a good one.
It holds up. Rereading it like this, it is exactly how I remember it in my head. It's really solid. And this is definitely one of those stories too where like you're a fucking young kid alone at night. It's like 2 a.m. You're like reading this on your phone. Like it's definitely one of those stories where you're like checking all the dark pockets in your room. Like, is there any rat monsters in here?
I bet
it's a good story.
I bet the monster would eat a crow raw.
And then when I was 16, I ate another crow.
I never want to talk about that story again.
That was payback for your earlier joke of combining two words.
But yeah,
we're even now. We're back on an alliance.
Okay.
When we talk about alliance, am I the who you're teaming up against?
No.
It's us against the world.
There we go.
It's
us against the world.
Everybody I know is making jokes like that.
Well, what did you give the story?
7.73 out of 10.
Okay. Any opinions? Any extra tidbits to add to the story?
Interesting that they use zebras.
Well, that just happened to be the most recent animal. What do you mean?
Well, it's just like when I'm thinking of a story, like a zebra isn't necessarily one that comes to mind.
Oh,
and
I see
so
what you
like
mean.
for those experiments, I would have seen like monkeys, obviously like the rat,
lions, shit like that. Yeah.
Shit like that. So I was surprised to see like, not that it was bad or whatever. It's just I noticed that there was a zebra missing eyes, covered in bruises. I was like, interesting. You don't see zebras a lot in horror movies.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very rare animal to abuse. What do you think?
I thought it was good. I like the 7.73 too.
Yeah. It holds a special place in my heart. I still think after rereading it, it still probably takes the #1 spot. As far as creepypastas that I've read. So.
Bless you.
Anyway. So thank you for watching. Thank you for staying with us at the Delves In. I hope you're getting to know us as employees a little bit more. So your next stay, you'll feel a little bit more comfortable. And if you haven't stayed with us, now you're familiar with us. So come hang out. I promise it's not as bad as we make it seem. We're just complaining about our day jobs. You know how it goes. So
we don't have bar rats that eat people, so.
Not yet. But anyway, thank you so much for staying with us. We hope you stay with us again. I've been Delv, this is the Great Catsby, and this is BOODRIX, the man, the myth,
The legend.
Peace off.
Lizard.
Lizard.